Hello everyone, it's End Times Talk coming at you with a brand new video. I think this one will be super interesting for you today. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between a few different subjects within paranormal activity that's been going on the planet. Something I want to address first off before I really get it deep into this video is the difference between orbs and UFOs. See, a lot of people, when they see orbs in the sky and balls of light in the sky, they say, "Oh, this is a UFO. This is like an alien spacecraft." And I beg to differ. Okay, I beg to differ. There is a difference between the metallic saucer-like craft that fly around, okay, and the orbs of light that zip and zoom around and defy physics and take super abrupt turns, and it completely defies physics. Okay, I mean, some of these orbs even split off from each other. One orb will become, 3 or 4 or 5, and then it'll zoom back into itself. I mean, these things have been documented in the sky. These orbs doing these sort of things. So anyways, okay, and I want to show you some footage so that way you understand the difference. All right, check these videos out.
There's a comet.
It's gone now, it's gone. Where's it gone? There it is. That's fast, that.
That's moved to a completely different location from where it was.
Of heat shield anyway. The surveys were initially sparked by a mysterious object floating under the spacecraft yesterday. It was detected shortly after a routine check of the shuttle's steering jets. Now, since Columbia, NASA developed several tools and procedures to safeguard the shuttle while in space. NASA admits they may never know exactly what the unknown objects are, but confirms the shuttle is ready to handle the 3,000-degree temperatures it will meet as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere.
Over the years, we have chased many of these things, maybe not with the visibility that this one has gotten, and rarely, if ever, been able to pinpoint exactly where they came from, and always finding out that it didn't pose us any hazard.
It's just after dark on August 25th, 2013 in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. The crew of a United States Customs and Border Patrol plane is taking off for a routine mission when they notice a strange pinkish light approaching from the northwest. They turn on their thermal imaging camera to track the object, and this is what they see. Then it heads out over the ocean where it does something truly unexpected. Did you catch what happened? Let's zoom in. The object seems to splash down in the water before re-emerging seconds later. Even more bizarre, the object then splits into 2 separate craft. And people, there is no known Earth technology that can do that. After nearly 4 minutes, the object disappears from view.
And see, those orbs, I mean, there's no way you can look at that and say that's a metallic craft, okay? That's a physical, tangible metallic craft that's there. Those are balls of light that are doing aerial maneuvers that these aerial craft cannot do. All right, so I want to also show you these videos of these aerial craft. Check these videos out. And you see, so there's a visual difference between saucers that are metallic and orbs that are like glowing and emitting their own light. You know what I'm saying? Like a fluorescence, you know, a phosphorescence. You know, they're literally glowing on their own and emitting light. Anyways, okay, I do know that it talks about in the Bible that angels, fallen angels, angels of God, the Benai Elohim, the sons of God, can shapeshift, okay? They can shapeshift, all right? We do know this because, you know, they went from angelic form to human form and mated with human women. We do know that there were angels of God that were sent to Lot to warn him of the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah that was coming upon the city, and that these men that were militant within Sodom and Gomorrah that were banging on Lot's door wanting to know these men that came into the city, and the word "know" there would be like an intimate "know." Okay, when you dive into what that specific word "know" means. Okay, so there was a sin that was trying to be committed there. Okay, now you answer me this: any time in ancient civilization when there was an entity that presented itself to mankind, it was hailed and worshipped as a god. Now, why would these men of Sodom and Gomorrah be so blind and so dumb that they would want to know these two angels? That's because they were in human form. They took human form. So I do believe that angels can shapeshift, and even fallen angels can shapeshift. Hence why we have Bigfoot. Hence why we have the Dogman. Hence why we have the Mothman and Chupacabras and all these different entities that distract people from what's really going on, the true core of what's going on. And in another video, we will make some stuff on cryptozoology proving that these creatures are shape-shifting entities that have always been here that are trying to trick mankind and deceive mankind. Now, anyways, I do want to talk about some interesting stuff here about orbs specifically, not spacecraft, but orbs themselves that people need to know. All right, and we have some footage to show you that's truly astounding footage, and it's from back in the day, and National Geographic even aired it as it was real. Okay, so you know that even the system, you know, National Geographic is the system. All right, they are part of it. They're part of the Smithsonian. They're an entity of the Smithsonian. All right, and even they were showing that these orbs are very much so involved in making crop circles. Check this video out.
He grabbed his video camera and captured footage of several glowing orbs hovering over a field. Then, like magic, here's the formation from the air.
And so now that you've seen that video, people, now that you've seen that video and you've seen the evidence, all right, you have to decide for yourself whether it's real or whether it's not. But I can tell you most definitely, I remember back in the day, I was watching the television program where they aired this footage, all right, and it's just so hard to see the clarity when they aired it first, when National Geographic aired it first, it was a lot clearer. You know, someone had to record this. I believe that it's real 100%. Anyways, all right, so if orbs are making crop circles, all right, and crop circles have to do with aliens, all right, and this is what they've been conditioning us to think, okay, is that orbs are connected to the alien phenomenon, all right, and that orbs are, and that crop circles are connected to the alien phenomenon. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. Back before I really truly believed in Jesus Christ, and before I really came into my life with Him, I was a paranormal investigator for 5 years. And I do want to warn people on the side that anybody that's partaking in paranormal investigations of any kind is practicing what's called necromancy, which is the communication of the living with the dead. And in the Bible, it is absolutely forbidden. Okay, so do not practice any form of paranormal investigating. You're not supposed to go around talking to these entities, provoking them, asking them questions, trying to record them, catching them on video, any of that stuff. All right, there's plenty of videos out there where there's evidence of these things, okay, and we've shown them a lot here on End Times Talk, but do not get yourself involved in necromancy. It's absolutely evil, and it will do nothing but destroy your life. I can tell you this firsthand. Anyways, so these entities obviously are responsible, these orbs are responsible for making crop circles, but orbs are aliens, right? Well, I can tell you most definitely from my years in paranormal investigating that I took many pictures of many orbs in many places where aliens shouldn't be. If orbs are aliens, then why are orbs, which are aliens, interested in cemeteries? Why are aliens interested in haunted castles? Why are aliens interested in haunted prisons? Why are aliens interested in all these things where demonic activity is and where innocent blood has been spilled? All right, and that's an area that's ripe for demonic activity, is a place where innocent blood has been spilled. All right, and a lot of these Stonehenges that are over there in England, all right, have a lot of these crop circles pop up around them. Actually, when you really truly investigate the crop circle phenomenon, it's almost like 90% of them are phony baloney, and it's almost like this specific few that are in England in these areas where the Stonehenges are, all right, that's the area where these true crop circles are coming from. And like I said, I do believe these entities are being summoned. I do believe these entities are sending a message to mankind, but I do not believe it's alien or extraterrestrial in any form. All right, I purely believe it to be demonic. And if you look at a lot of the symbolism that is in the crop circles that these entities are making, specifically near the Stonehenges in England, all right, it's very much so occult oriented, in it's very much so symbolic of things that are in the occult. All right, and it definitely is a form of message being sent to the Illuminati and to the people who are practicing of the occult in that area and summoning these demonic entities. All right, I do believe that an orb is the rawest form of a demonic entity or a fallen angel or a angel of God. All right, something that I have noticed is that colored orbs usually come with demonic activity. All right, the white orbs sometimes, and I'm saying sometimes, usually can be, benevolent. They're not out. I think that can be some zipping and zooming around of God's angels, because God's angels minister to His people. But I do believe that there's a lot of demonic activity happening. I do know people who have had these things attached to them that see colored orbs all the time. I know multiple friends personally that have seen colored orbs. I've seen colored orbs. I've seen this stuff happen personally, firsthand, all right? And so what I'm telling you is, do not be deceived by the propaganda that's being pushed out by the media telling you that orbs are alien and that crop circles are alien. It's not. It's occult related, and it's demonic related is what's actually going on, all right? And now, anyways, getting past that, I want to talk about something very specific about the alien phenomenon in general. All right, and around the time when things really started amping up was in the late 40s and the early 50s. And during that time, you had a man named Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard, who were apprentices to the most influential Satanist of the 20th century. His name was Aleister Crowley. A lot of you know who he is. All right, a lot of you know who Jack Parsons is and L. Ron Hubbard is. Jack Parsons was the rocket scientist that developed the rockets that NASA needed to be able to get the United States into space. okay? And L. Ron Hubbard was the founder of Scientology, which is a cover for Satanism, all right? Now, anyways, these two men, Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard, and also with Aleister Crowley, developed a ritual known as Babylon working. And back when these all this alien phenomenon really started to amp up, they went out into the Mojave Desert, all right, before all this alien stuff really started happening. Now, we've always had entities visiting Earth, but never presented as aliens. Now, a lot of the old artwork has been changed by Nazis to push this newer agenda of aliens, but a lot of the older artwork, if you pay super attention and you know how to interpret older artwork, a lot of these people were just talking about divine beings that they were seeing. They weren't talking about, you know, a spaceman with a helmet. It's a misinterpretation of artwork, and even my friend who was ex-Illuminati said that. He said the real true alien phenomenon started back in the late 40s when Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard went out into the Mojave Desert and ripped a hole in the space-time continuum doing an occult ritual, an occult sex magic ritual known as Babylon working, all right, that was developed by them and Aleister Crowley, all right? And these kinds of rituals are even still going on today where they're opening portals to allow demonic entities to come through. Check this video out. This ritual that was performed, and it is a ritual. This is exactly how they do these rituals. Okay, you know, you got. I mean, if a lot of people have seen this footage that's out of the Skull and Bones, where someone had gotten footage from the outer courtyard where, you know, they're screaming and yelling, and you listen to that guy that's got the goat's head on. He's like, "Wah!" You know, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but these are rituals. If any of you have seen the Alex Jones video where he went into the Bohemian Grove and captured the cremation of care during the Summer Fire Festival, you know, where all the elites are you know, burning a human effigy or even a real human, we don't know, but the rituals look very similar. There's like a play, they're acting, okay? And Aleister Crowley, all right, said this with his own mouth. He said one of the best ways to get in touch with demonic entities is to act in a play. All right, truth be told, any of you can go out and watch Hollywood Unmasked, the documentary, or Hollywood Unmasked too. All right, great documentaries that expose Hollywood and the demonic power that's behind the things in Hollywood. All right, I suggest going and watching both of those documentaries immediately. All right, they're amazing. Anyways, you know, these people are acting out, all right, and they're becoming demonically possessed through their acting out, all right. You can learn that in the Hollywood Unmasked, all right, and so they're acting this out, and they're portraying demonic entities. A lot of people they would have festivals back in the day where people would dress up as their favorite demon and try to enact their favorite demon, and whoever would get first prize would kind of be the person who could best enact this demonic spirit. I mean, there's literally festivals all over the planet that go on like this. It's crazy, people. So acting is a part of ritual, okay? The play is a part of ritual when it comes to the Illuminati, when it comes to witchcraft and things like that. There's a lot of symbolic stuff. And within witchcraft, all right, and within the occult, all right, there's a lot of circular motion within ritual, okay? There's a lot of circular motion within witchcraft, and so they're trying to stir up forces, and then they believe that as that energy ticks down to the center, that releases that energy. All right, so that's why they do these weird dances, and the women are dancing in circles, and things are spiraling. And it's symbolic of the portals that they're opening spiritually. We, with our human eyes, cannot see these portals open. But sometimes the camera lens can catch them. Check this video out. So all over the world, portals are opening up, all right, all over the world. And in the book of Genesis, all right, in the book of Genesis, in chapter 28, in verse 10, it says, "And Jacob went out from Beersheba, and went towards Haran, and he lighted up a certain place, and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. He took of the stones of that place, and put them for his pillow," that's known as Jacob's pillow, "and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God, which is the B'nai Elohim, ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham, thy father, and thy God of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed." So literally Jacob, all right, the son of Abraham, all right, saw a portal in the heavens, okay, where angels were coming up and going down. And when you really research, okay, this ladder, all right, it also can mean a spiraled staircase or a spiral, people, all right? Think about it, all right? There is portals that they have found, cement portals all over the world that these different religions have cooked up in use of their to use in their occult rituals to be able to summon demonic forces. Check this video out.
A series of remarkable stone structures were discovered in remote locations around the world. These amazing artifacts, known as stone stargates, captivated the imagination of archaeologists, historians, and conspiracy theorists alike. Carved with intricate patterns and symbols, their true purpose remains shrouded in mystery. Ancient folklore, however, spoke of these stargates as devices used by civilizations from distant solar systems to travel across the cosmos. By the 1950s, almost all the stargates had vanished without a trace, fueling rumors of government cover-ups and hidden agendas. Some theorize that governments around the world systematically confiscated the stargates and concealed them in top-secret facilities. Their whereabouts remain unknown.
So far and wide, these things are being found, these stargates, okay? They're telling us the truth in this TV show Stargate, all right? It's absolutely crazy. But what people need to also understand is that animals can sense the spiritual realm, all right? This is very important, all right? And we know this because of Balaam and his donkey. Now, I want to read another scripture to you. And God came unto Balaam at night and said unto him, If the men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, thou shalt thou do. That shalt thou do. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass. And that's what the Bible says. That's what a donkey is. It's an ass. And went with the princes of Moab. And God's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way for the adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his 2 servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord right there. That donkey saw the angel of the Lord. Animals can see the spiritual realm, but we can't. There's a veil there that protects us, because it would almost be like an overload in our minds. All right? It would absolutely overload us all the times if we saw the things that were going on in the spiritual realm, and the Lord knows what we can handle and what we can't handle. And it says here, and the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way, and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass, to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side, and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself into the wall, and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further, and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn, either to the right or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she literally, the donkey talked, and she said unto Balaam, What have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, Because thou hast mocked me, I would there were a sword in my hand, for now would I kill thee. And the ass said unto Balaam, Am not I thine ass, upon which thou hast ridden? Ever since I was thine unto this day, was I ever wont to do so unto thee? And he said, Nay. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord. See, Balaam was blind, okay? He saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. Now, I'm telling you, people, these animals, they're smart. They're smart. God created some amazing, amazing stuff, and it just blows my mind. Blows my mind. Animals can see things that we can't. So get yourself an animal. Get yourself a dog. Get yourself a cat, because they're great to have. But what I'm going to say next is that animals can sense the spiritual realm, and that's why they're spinning in circles, because they see the portals opening. That's what I truly believe. Check these videos out. All over the world. All over the world it's happening. It's happening under the sea. They've filmed fish going in circles. They've filmed insects going in circles. It's happening everywhere, people. But you have to understand this, and I want to make sure that people are aware of this, that ritual that you saw that was being performed, the demonic ritual at the Goddard Tunnel, was a ritual that was literally developed by Aleister Crowley, just like the one that was practiced by L. Ron Hubbard and Jack Parsons in the Mojave Desert, known as Babylon working. But this ritual is known as the Amalantra working. All right, so they're literally using Aleister Crowley's formulas of ritual to be able to open portals to allow demonic entities to pour into our plane of existence, and that's exactly what's going on. Even in the TV show Stranger Things. All right, there's portals opening. This little girl and her demonic power, and obviously we see that there's this satanic under theme with the show Stranger Things. I mean, they're outright telling people, and they even call their little Dungeons and Dragons club the Hellfire Club, which is a satanic group that was known to orgy in Britain that Benjamin Franklin was a part of. I mean, it's absolutely crazy how they're sticking this real occult stuff in television, programming people with it. But they're literally in Stranger Things, this portal is opening up and allowing this demonic stuff to pour out onto our plane of existence. That's exactly what's going on. So people need to know, orbs aren't aliens, they're demons, all right? These metallic saucers, I truly believe they're being developed by the government as a deception to be able to trick mankind into thinking that these entities are coming from outside, from outer space, from outside our atmosphere, all right? But really the truth is that these things have always been here. They know exactly how to fool mankind and mess around with mankind, and they are tricking mankind into doing these things and using CERN as well to do it. I mean, CERN is literally ripping holes in the space-time continuum, allowing demonic entities to pour forth out of their realm into ours. Check these videos out.
We just have to look at CERN because there's some very strange things surrounding CERN that could be tied to the opening of the demonic invasion in the last days. Here's an old article, 2011, but it's got some interesting things in it, saying opening strange portals in physics, talking of course about CERN, the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. And this Harvard University theorist Lisa Randall, she writes a book about the physics going on at heaven, and what a strange coincidence, decides to name her book Knocking on Heaven's Door. Within the article, she goes on and on about extra dimensions. At one point, she's quoted as saying going on at CERN is there's other deep issues, including space-time symmetry and whether there are extra dimensions. We really do have a chance of making inroads on those subjects. She talks about how there could be more than the 3 dimensions we're familiar with, and that they can be interacting with our universe. And when asked about this parallel universe and about this extra dimension, she says at the Large Hadron Collider, if this idea that they have about looking at these different dimensions through gravity and through these particles, she says we could see evidence of this extra dimension if this idea they have is correct. Also, something really strange that happened at CERN, I mentioned a few times, and of course is written off as a prank by the scientists there. But right in front of the Hindu god of destruction there that they have at CERN, odd to have a god of destruction at the largest machine on Earth, the largest machine ever built. But here we can see the scientists doing a quote fake human sacrifice ritual for the purposes of, I don't know, I guess they think that's funny. I don't know, you can make up your own mind on that. But even if I was at a workplace where people wanted to do that as a joke, I would be out.
I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. And thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication.
And CERN is responsible for a lot of the devastation that's happening across the planet, the earthquakes and the manipulated weather. I mean, HAARP is a part of that, but it's all working on the same frequency. I mean, it's absolutely crazy the things that are happening on this planet right now. All right, I mean, things are going nuts. So people need to understand that these giants were involved in this stuff too, in the making of portals and the opening of portals. And they were also entities that came out of portals. As Native Americans were instructed to commit ritual human sacrifice, there's stories about, the Native Americans, doing this stuff. And then all of a sudden, these creatures crawling out of a portal and starting to eat people. And, so many of these civilizations, have disappeared. And it's because they went extinct because they were eaten by these things that they were summoning. All right. And it talks about in the Bible, especially in the book of Revelation, it talks about these things coming back upon the earth. As a ministry, as a YouTube channel, I feel it's important to warn people of what's coming. I want to warn people, and I want to expose the enemy. I want to expose the truth. I want to show people that orbs aren't aliens. Orbs aren't from outer space. They're from here. They're shapeshifters. and the government's helping them along. And I will tell you one last thing that my buddy who was ex-Illuminati told me, and this is astounding. And I'm just going to tell you exactly as he told me, basically. So he told me that when he joined the U.S. military, eventually he was restationed to Germany, to an American base in Germany. And it was at that base where, because of his Illuminati clearance, he was able to go into one of these deep underground military bases. That there's a highway under this military base that went for miles and miles and miles. He said he didn't even know how long it went. He said on the floor of the highway, he said there was multiple colored strips. He says it was like a rainbow in the center of the highway. He said there was like these golf carts that they would use type of thing, you know, like these carts. And he said that there would be a map that would show that color would be for like a specific area. All right. And you drive on that color until that color stops, and then you get off, and that's your destination. So it's ran by colors. Okay. The way that they navigate these underground highways. Okay. And he said that it was in this underground highway where there was a laboratory where he witnessed with his own eyes them manipulating human genetics to be able to create the gray aliens. All right. And he said that he saw the stages of this thing. He said that some of the first stuff, and they kept it alive. They literally kept these people alive that they've experimented on. And he said that there was a blob of human flesh, and he said it was still moving, like breathing. And I'm telling you, that's nasty, people. What these people are doing in these labs is demonic. They're splicing human DNA and animal DNA. They're trying to force an evolution upon mankind, just like Satan manipulated the genetics before, like in Genesis 6 with the fallen angels mating with human women. He's manipulating the genetics again. As in the days of Noah shall the coming of the Son of Man be. And these things are coming upon the earth, people. There's all sorts of monsters they've already created in labs and released onto the planet. All right. They've also, been able to clone humans. They've been able to clone animals for a long time. And now they're able to clone humans. They talk about it. All right. They're supposed to kill these things off after so many days or so many weeks, but they keep them alive, people. I mean, you got movies like Splice out there, you know, that are literally about them keeping these entities alive, these gross, grotesque monsters alive. And it's just disgusting, people. It's just disgusting. What's coming upon the earth is absolutely horrific, and demons are pouring out, all right, and they have to have suits for these demons, all right, and I do believe that in the Bible it talks about when a demonic entity does not have a person that it's possessing, it's like as if it's in a desert without a glass of water, that it's in a dry place. It talks about a dry place, and you want to know what the word for dry place in the Bible is? Beer. Look it up look it up. Beer. A dry place is literally what beer means, a dry place. So these demons are in a dry place, and then the government makes these wet suits, these gray alien suits for these demons to possess. All right, so they have a biological suit. They manipulate human genetics to give these demons what they want so they can operate and move about freely without struggling on this earth. Can you believe that, people? I'm telling you, it's the truth. I'm telling you, my buddy knew what he was talking about, and he was right about more than he was ever wrong. And so I just want to tell you what he told me, and I felt it was important. So anyways, I appreciate all of you guys who have watched this video all the way up to the end. It's a little bit of a long one, but you know, I love you guys so much. You guys are my family. I truly appreciate you guys. May God bless you all, and may God keep you. And don't forget to go out and change the world in which you live.